What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 193 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, we have an episode for every single nation recognised by the UN.
Okay, that is a really cool number, actually. A really cool factoid.
When I was looking this up, the only other factoid I had was, did you know that 193 is a happy number? And I'm like, what does that mean? And Wikipedia refused to tell me. It clearly means something, and something mathematical, but like the Wikipedia article was just like, it's a happy number. I'm like, what is it? Why aren't you a blue link for me to click?
Yeah, like, it'd be really obvious if it was like 1 divided by 9 equals 3, but it's not.
Yeah, nothing divided by 1 works, does it, Rick?
No, I mean, everything divided by 1 works, because it's the same number.
Well, not if you've got a predetermined number that you have to try and make it fit. This is what those fucking fake scientists do. This is the conclusion. How do we cut off pieces to make it work?
Yeah, well, we got a factoid for 212. 2 divided by 1 equals 2.
I'm not using that. That's a shit fact.
I know, right?
That's like saying, like, oh, it's episode 193. Did you know 193 comes directly after 192, but before 194?
Yeah.
I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Now, for those of you joining us at home, we are doing Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft today. It's more or less a brand new show. It dropped exclusively on Netflix on the 10th of October, hence why it's taken us so long to do it. We were doing a Scooby-Doo for Halloween.
We were. If it weren't for Scooby-Doo, we would have jumped straight on it, but yeah, we're a couple of weeks behind.
Exactly. This is based on the Tomb Raider series, an iconic British video game franchise, or at least it was. It's changed hands quite a few times. It's been owned by both Eidos and Square Enix, and is currently in the hands of the Embracer Group.
It is. In fact, I think I brought this to the viewers' attention when it changed hands.
You might have done. I remember us bitching at fucking Square Enix because they're idiots.
Yes.
Like, they basically sold all of their shit that wasn't named Final Fantasy.
They did. Like, as an incredibly short-sighted way to turn a tiny amount of turnover, not even profit, it's just generate money, because profit normally means you've done something, whereas this is just, no, you're shedding ballast to not sink when they're not sinking.
Yeah, but it's the old capitalist creed. If you don't make more money than last year, that means you're failing.
Yep.
It makes no sense, but whatever.
No.
No. Yeah, the less said about the Embracer Group, the better. They don't handle anything well, really. In fact, they are actually floundering, financially speaking. And they fucked over Saints Row, so fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
That being said, it might be one of the reasons why Lara Croft and Tomb Raider is getting so much attention, because today it was announced that a live-action show for Tomb Raider is potentially going to be made by Amazon, with Sophie Turner being eyed up for the role of Lara Croft. Can't think of an actress less suited for the role. I'm not saying she can't do it. I'm just saying, like, Google Sophie Turner if you're not familiar with her. She does not look like Lara Croft.
She does not. Yeah, she would have to put some brown hair dye on for the very minimum. What was she in? She
was Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones, and I believe she played a young Jean Grey in the later X-Men movies.
Sure.
I might be wrong.
This is both of these are true. Like, in her most recent photos, she doesn't look like either of those characters, so she's her face has changed.
Oh, I'm sure, but like, the only thing I've actually seen her in is Game of Thrones, and I can't imagine that version of Sophie Turner being Lara Croft. I could be totally wrong, and that's fine. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, onto the show itself. It's apparently a continuation of the Tomb Raider's latest reboot trilogy, which the latest one of that would have been Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I think came out in 2018.
Something like that. Yeah, it was one of those things that was it was used as a benchmark for like new hardware for quite some time. It's like what frame rate do you get in Elden Ring is another decent one from recent memory. But like, yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was seen as both demanding and looking good on pretty much anything, but like, you could really push it.
That's totally fair. I've never had any interest in Tomb Raider, even back in the day when she was shooting shooting T-Rexes on the reg.
Yeah, where you got like a bear and a tiger running at each other looking like they're about to fight, but because you're in their aggro range, they both turn at right angles and team up against you.
I definitely haven't played the most recent incarnation of Tomb Raider. I think the last Tomb Raider game I played was like the Temple of Osiris or something. It was kind of like a Gauntlet clone.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, last one I played was like, I had Tomb Raider 3 demo, which was like a third of the game. Remember when demos were like a third of the game? And I had Tomb Raider 4, but I didn't get into it.
That's totally fair. Yeah, I was actually, funny enough, my biggest playtime of a Tomb Raider game, apart from that Osiris game, because it was free with PlayStation Plus, I didn't buy it, was also a demo disc. It was the same demo disc that had Spyro, so that kickstarted that love. So, you know, Spyro was the winner over it. I was more interested in the purple dragon that skateboarded than the woman with triangle tits doing jumping.
Yeah, I've seen edits of this show with the triangle boobs.
I do remember back in the day there was that long rumoured cheat code where if you put this cheat code in, Lara Croft takes her top off and shows her boobs. And first of all, that doesn't exist. Second of all,
yeah,
even if it did, who gives a fuck?
The triangles, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You couldn't see nothing.
Yeah, I've got a whatchamacallit, I'm saying family friend. He turned out to be an arsehole. But he was like a couple of years older than me and had his own PC and all that. He had Tomb Raider 1 on the PC, and of course he had the mod to give the nude mod for Tomb Raider 1, and it was just triangle tits with with nipples painted on.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's so baffling. Like, sex is such a taboo anyway in video games. If you put sex in anything video game related, it automatically jacks the rating up to 18, as it should to a certain degree. But you know, it's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It baffles. It baffles.
Anyway, the last thing I've got to mention is the cast. Of course, we're going to talk about the cast very briefly. There are a few notable names which I'm all going to skip over because the outright star is Lara herself, voiced by one Hayley Atwell.
Oh, okay.
Do you recognise that name, Rick? You should.
I remember the name. Hayley.
She's Peggy Carter.
Ah, yes.
In everything.
Yeah. Like even in the animated versions, yeah, she's yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So we're like, as far as casting goes, she's got a pretty classy British voice, so you can see why they cast her.
Yeah, like she was born in London, and
Rick's got her. I'm pretty sure Rick's got her IMDb open.
Wikipedia actually, but yes.
I didn't know she was from London, but like again, it's not exactly surprising.
Yeah, that's like a third of the UK is from London, so yeah.
It's about a 50-50 split if you're from the States.
Yeah.
They can't.
I think it's actually closer to a sixth of the UK is from the Greater London area, I believe. But yeah, it's if you're American, it's like 93% London, and then the rest is just you're either Scottish or you're Irish, and they don't know that that's not England.
Oh, heaven fucking help you if you've got a Welsh accent, because they don't know what that is.
Yeah, they just assume that you're Scottish and doing it wrong.
Anyway, those of you familiar with the show know that before we like to jump into the reaction and the review itself, we like to talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the Wild Ride universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, Vampire Survivors brought out their new DLC, the Ode to Castlevania, and it is a treat.
I wasn't expecting Vampire Survivors news, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm in a server with multiple people, and one of them was like, "Oh man, this DLC is fantastic." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Let's have a look." And I looked, and it was the day before the new DLC came out on mobile, and turns out I missed the one before. So I bought a DLC that was the Contra DLC. I'm like, "Okay, cool," because the final character you unlock is Simon Belmondo, which is a robot Simon Belmont, which is actually a character in Contra. I'm like, okay, I suppose this is kind of Castlevania-ish. And that was fun. And then, like, the day later, the actual Castlevania one dropped. I'm like, oh, okay, this.
See, that's really
a lot more fun.
Because, to me, Contra characters lean themselves more to the Vampire Survivors style of gameplay better. Because I remember Contra with their various weapons, and it's like, I can see them already in my mind's eye of, yeah, that is just give it a slightly different spread, and it becomes a top tier Vampire Survivors weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Like the run and gun gameplay in Contra, like you say, other than the fact that you can't jump, yeah, it just translates really well. So those weapons are all pretty good.
And like with Castlevania, like the throwing axe thing that's already in the game is basically an homage to the axe throw in old school Castlevania.
You want that? How about literally the first guy that you unlock in Vampire Survivors that the game comes with is a guy with a whip?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It's already an ode to Castlevania.
Yeah, and like the sprites are even an ode to Castlevania. They're even the later iterations when they could have put more processing power into like higher fidelity sprites, they still kept that old style. So when you're using like Alucard, he looks like Alucard in Symphony of the Night because that's what the Vampire Survivors art style is as well.
Gotcha. So is that all it's adding? Is it adding Castlevania enemies as well or anything, or just...
So it adds some Castlevania bosses and a bunch of characters. There's, as far as I can tell, there is one map, and similar to in Castlevania, you unlock more of the map depending on what you've done. But once you've unlocked it, similar to any other Vampire Survivors playthrough, you've got it unlocked for the rest of your account.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, like, once you've gotten to a certain part, you can teleport to that bit by going into the teleporting zone. Once you've got a key, you can go through that door any other time, for instance.
Okay. So it's a bit different for a Vampire Survivors map in that you unlock it like that rather than just having the stage.
Yeah, and there's at least 2 zones, like little tiny arenas, where you go from walking around with full freedom to it being like a proper side-scroller where you've got gravity.
Well, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah, like one of them is where you fight the doppelganger, which is, like it says, it spawns a doppelganger of your character, and they die almost immediately because you've probably got a bunch of upgrades that the doppelganger doesn't have.
Okay, so the doppelganger just has your character's basic attack then, rather than all the shit you've gathered during the game.
Yeah, like okay. They've got the standard boss stats of like a load of health, and they do an amount of damage, but more when you touch them. Mm-hmm. But you know, if you're smart, you just don't touch them and you just hit them and they die. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. And also in an incredibly similar vein, HoloCure had its update this morning.
Sure. Have you touched it at all, or what?
I did. I downloaded it. I played the new map. Both new maps, and both of them are hard, which is great because it means there's a lot of longevity for me getting better at a game that I love.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, HoloCure is a game that I've just constantly got installed. I don't really play it that often, no.
Yeah, it's been I think it's been over a year since the last update, so it's been quite a long time coming, because KU's been, involved in a lot of other projects.
Hopefully projects in which they're getting paid.
Oh yes, he's definitely getting paid, including some for HoloLive. Like, he's been doing some like music videos for them, and he's also been on like multiple different anime.
Sure.
But yes, that's been a lot of fun this week. So basically a very Survivors-ish bent this week for me. Now into the wide world. Fox News.
I got this twice.
Yeah, exactly. It has claimed that the satirical news site The Onion has 4.3 trillion daily readers.
Do you know why they announced this?
Yeah, because that's what it says on The Onion.
But do you know why The Onion is relevant at the moment?
Yep. So that's 524 times the population of Earth, but seriously, The Onion has bought InfoWars.
Yeah, and Alex Jones rolls in his grave.
Well,
I know what I said.
He will be rolling in his grave, yeah.
They bought it in a bankruptcy auction.
Yeah, so I now have the joy of I've got their statement open.
Oh, well, please read it. I've not actually read the statement. I've just I've read the statement, but I glossed over it. I was like, oh, this is funny.
So this is from Bryce P. Tetrader. Today we celebrate a new addition to the global Tetrahedron LLC family of brands, and let me say, I really do see it as a family. Much like family members, our brands are abstract nodes of wealth, interchangeable assets to their patriarch to absorb and discard according to the opaque whims of the market. And just like family members, our brands regard one another with mutual suspicion and malice. All told, the decision to acquire InfoWars was an easy one for the global Tetrahedron exclusive board. Founded in 1999 on the heels of the Satanic satanic panic, and growing steadily ever since, InfoWars has distinguished itself as an invaluable tool for brainwashing and controlling the masses. With a shrewd mix of delusional paranoia and dubious anti-aging nutrition hacks, they strive to make life both scarier and longer for everyone, a commendable goal. They are a true unicorn, capable of simultaneously inspiring public support for billionaires and stoking outrage at an inept federal state that can assassinate JFK but can't put a man on the moon. Through it all, InfoWars has shown an unswerving commitment to manufacturing anger and radicalizing the most vulnerable members of society, values that resonate deeply with all of us at Global Tetrahedron. No price would be too high for the cornucopia of malleable assets and minds, and yet, in a stroke of good fortune, a formidable special interest group has outwitted the hapless owner of InfoWars, a forgettable man with an already forgotten name, and forced him to sell it at a steep bargain. Less than $1 trillion. Make no mistake, this is a coup for our company, and a well-deserved victory for multinational elites the world over. What's next for InfoWars remains a live issue. The excess funds initially allocated for the purchase will be reinvested into our philanthropic efforts that include business school scholarships for promising cult leaders, a charity that donates elections to at-risk third-world dictators, and a new pro bono program pairing orphans with stable factory jobs at no cost to the factories. As for the vitamin supplements, we are halting their sale immediately. Utilitarian logic dictates that if we can extend even one CEO's life by 10 minutes, diluting this miracle elixir for public consumption is an unethical waste. Instead, we plan to collect the entire stock of the InfoWars warehouses into a large vat and boil the contents down into a single candy bar-sized omnivitamin that one executive, I will not name names, may eat in order to increase his power and perhaps become immortal. All will be revealed in due time. For now, let's enjoy this win and toast to the continued consolidation of power and capital. Infinite growth forever, Bryce P. Tretrader.
The really sad thing about this statement is it's really masterfully done in the sense that, one, it is clearly satire if you are a fan of The Onion. Two,
yes,
it's scarily on brand if you're a fan of InfoWars.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it is as well.
And, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a non-zero amount of people who are a fan of InfoWars who read that statement and go, oh, it seems in good hands.
Yeah. It's very definitely on brand for that type of scummy business.
For real. I think the most important thing to take away is that, one, InfoWars is not going to continue to be an Alex Jones piece to spread misinformation. Any misinformation spread via it is because The Onion is getting increasingly better at its job at making joke fucking articles.
Yeah.
And the other thing as well is they're getting rid of all those supplements, which, never fucking worked anyway.
No, if they worked, they'd be for sale from, legitimate business people.
But also, I absolutely adore the image of Alex Jones before and 6 weeks later after taking a supplement, and he's just really red.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is what the supplement does. It makes you red. What?
Yeah, it turns you red. Which, for red hats is a positive.
Not really.
It paints you the colour of the hat that you're wearing. But yeah, otherwise I've been rather focused on me, myself, and I've reinstalled Windows, which is the kind of least important and least interesting thing ever, and I've just been wrestling with my computer for most of the week. So, that's going to be it from me. How about you? How have you been? What have you seen?
Yeah, my week's also been relatively boring because it's just me continuing to play games I've already been playing. We had a discussion briefly before our last episode we recorded, that being the retrospective, where I informed you that, yes, I have beaten Veilguard.
And now it's my turn to catch up.
Yeah, and it's going to take you a long time. My final game time was about 59 hours.
Yeah, fair enough. I think mine's about, 3.
Yeah, I did everything. I've done everything. There is nothing more for me to do in that game.
Yeah, I can only play it in small chunks, not for my own stamina, but for my PC's disgust at actually doing work.
My point being is that I can't possibly be spoiled. I've seen everything. I've started my second... The really funny thing is you mentioned how far in you are into the game, and I'm like, cool, I'm that far in on my second playthrough. Yep.
I could probably get this far really quickly now, again, on a second playthrough immediately.
I mean, if you skipped all the dialogue, but I'm weird. I don't like skipping dialogue if I don't have to.
Yeah, especially when, like, you've got the chance of doing certain things differently as well.
I'm intending to do pretty much everything different.
Yeah.
Like, in my main game, I romanced Tash. I slightly regret it because their character wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be, and you'll know exactly what I mean when you get to know them. But
yeah, I get you.
You know, and I was also told their romance is the spiciest, and either they're lying, or if that is the spiciest, your romance sucks.
I have seen some romance scenes, and the fact that you climb her is pretty cool.
Hey?
If you're anything less than maximum height, you have to climb Tash when it's time for the romance scene.
Oh no, they lift you up.
Oh yeah.
Which is really weird as a male character because it looks really awkward. But yeah, then there's a fade. I don't care if there's a fade to black. It's just that they drip feed you romance at best. When you lock in the romance, you get a few bits of like casual dialogue between your romance option and other party members, just acknowledging it. But that's about it.
Yeah. I think the best scene that I've seen for her is when she's like, "Are you trying to have sex with me?" And then she just like presses you up against the wall and growls.
That is the moment where I said I think they've got the arguably the best introduction romance scene.
Yeah, Capitan.
And Rick, it's a mild spoiler, and I don't blame you for not knowing. A big deal with their character is that they're they.
Yes, I'm aware that their character arc is becoming non-binary.
Yeah, which is completely shit on by two different things that occurred during their storyline. And don't worry, we'll get into it when we get there.
Yeah.
It's just such a hypocritical moment from them twice.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway, there's so much I want to just discuss and divulge and talk to you about, but you've barely scratched the surface, so I can't, so we'll put a pin in it there. There will be retrospectives on this game.
There will be. But so far, I'm enjoying Nev, I'm enjoying Belara, and Harding stays at camp because you can only have 2 characters.
Yeah, that's a downgrade. It really is.
Yeah. They really tried to make it into Mass Effect, and it shows.
God, yeah, I never even drew the Mass Effect comparison because what it feels like is God of War.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
do you do the same thing in God of War where you just like on demand get your party members to do things?
First of all, you've only got one and they've got a dedicated button, so you can't pause time.
Oh yeah.
But
so you press the boy button and then.
Yeah, except in Ragnarok, it's boy button is sometimes here's Freya.
Sure. Okay.
She's much better to look at than boy.
Sure.
But yeah, it's one of those where, and when I say it feels like God of War, it doesn't control like God of War, it just feels crisp and clean like God of War does.
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, the other thing I've been playing is, of course, I'm still on my Romance of the Free Kingdom binge. I got my first clear from a scenario. I basically picked a scenario I knew would be on the easier side of things, because to unlock the big fictional scenario where pretty much every ruler gets one city, you have to have cleared at least one scenario first. So yeah, I beat the the Rise of the Yellow Turbans scenario as Gongs and Zan. So it still took me 20 odd hours.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I've started a new game now on the Rise of Heroes fictional setting where, as I said, every ruler gets one city and they get the bulk of their officers. They make a bunch of regular officers leaders that weren't leaders in history. So some people don't get all of their officers because they get split between these fictional leaders.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I'm playing as a custom character on Lu Bu's team, and we'll see how well that goes, because everyone's growing at the same rate, so it makes combat a bit more difficult, but thankfully I've managed to shoehorn myself as a governor so I can control all the units so they don't act dumb.
Sure. Sweet.
You ready for some very light news?
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty, as of recording, we've had the weigh-in, but we haven't had the fight of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. So this is happening tonight as of recording, Rick.
Okay.
And people are getting really excited for this. At the weigh-in, Mike Tyson slapped Jake Paul, but it was the most flimsiest nothing thing ever. I can tell you how this fight's gonna go, Rick.
God, Go ahead.
I mean, it's going to go the full round limit. Doesn't matter who wins. It's entirely a publicity stunt designed to make both people richer.
Yes.
The whole reason people are going to tune in and pay for and watch this fight is because they want to see Jake Paul get knocked out. And Jake Paul knows this.
Oh, yes. And people are going to be big mad if he wins.
Yeah, but if he wins, it'll be by decision. I don't imagine this match ending in a knockout. I'll give Mike Tyson credit. All of his lead up to the fight interviews, he's very convincing that he wants to kill Jake Paul. I don't think he will.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that Mike Tyson has the ability to go hard and knock a motherfucker out, but but people don't want to admit this. Jake Paul is what, in his 30s?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's prime age for a fighter.
Yeah, Mike Tyson is not that age.
Mike Tyson is 65. He's still Mike Tyson, but he is an old man.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jake Paul has fought anyone under the age of 50. It's almost as if he's padding his record.
Yeah, almost.
It's one of those where I'm not gonna fucking watch this. I'll watch clips on YouTube if for some reason Mike Tyson actually does knock a fucker out, but I don't think it'll happen. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed.
Yes, absolutely.
Rick, this is not a wrestling podcast.
What's happened?
The Rock. He's got a new movie out called
doing?
Red One.
Oh shit, yeah, he does.
The trailers for this movie make it look incredibly funny because it looks like everyone's going to treat it like super straight, but...
Oh yeah, like everyone's playing it straight, but like it's a movie about Santa. Like, it's got J.K. Simmons as Santa, and Santa gets kidnapped.
Yeah, and it's got Chris Evans as a tier 4 naughty lister.
Yeah.
And a giant talking polar bear. But I'm not here to talk about this movie. It's a movie that I do intend to see because, honestly, for a movie that stars The Rock, the trailers make it look like it might actually be fun. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about a truly outlandish comment by The Rock.
Oh,
fuck me. Okay, so he said he went to see Oppenheimer in the summer, the movie, the big one of the big blockbuster movies, and he sat in the seat which Christopher Nolan himself would sit in if he was watching this movie. And he sat there, he watched it, and he said, and I quote, "Wow, if this is what Oppenheimer looks like, imagine what Red One will look like."
Oh boy. What a hype man statement.
This guy is sniffing his own farts so fucking hard. The amount of shit I can tell you about The Rock and his movie career. He has a dedicated team, Rick, to write movies around his ego.
Oh yes, where he never loses.
Correct. It's also one of the reasons why Black Adam was probably a shit... Well, I never saw it, but it's hard to make a superhero movie where the superhero can't ever lose.
Yeah, because you know that his contract is he can't be seen losing on screen. Like the only time he lost in that movie was before the movie started.
But yeah, people like to give James Gunn shit because of the whole Henry Cavill thing. But the only reason Henry Cavill was brought back as Superman is because The Rock was convinced he could change the DC universe to be, no, Black Adam is the new Superman. He's better than everyone.
Yeah. And we know that's false.
Anyway, the other wrestling news I've got is there's a wrestler who hasn't wrestled for a while now called Ryback. He has taken to Twitter to basically have a go at annoying wrestling fans. He's done this for a while, and I don't always agree with his takes by any stretch of the imagination, but I do agree with him in this occasion, where fans are bitching about the fact that there is a double taping of Raw this coming week because in the States, Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yeah, it is.
So
Turkey Day.
So they're doing a double taping so that people will be able to, I don't know, spend time with people on Thanksgiving. Something really selfish like that, you know? And a bunch of fans are going like, oh yeah, so we just don't get a live show this week. And Ryback's like, you guys are fucking so entitled.
Yeah.
Like, they're still getting wrestling. It's just not live.
Yeah.
Ryback also goes on a massive spiel about how, hey, wrestlers are always traveling, always essentially working. They stop when they're flagged by fans for pictures. Not all of them do, but a lot of them do. They can have a fucking week off.
Yeah, they can.
So yes, Rick, what are we doing today?
We're doing Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. It's on Netflix. If you'd like to join along with us at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
Sometimes Rick doesn't say the episode title.
Oh yes, A Single Step.
Yeah, Series 1, Episode 1.
Assuming it gets more than one series.
It's already been greenlit for a second. Like, it's getting at least a second series.
Sure.
Getting Tarzan vibes, eh?
Yeah, it's very pretty looking.
It's pretty looking, but it's pretty standard for Netflix pseudo anime.
Yeah,
Like this looks like the same team that probably did Castlevania.
yeah, and that it's got a similar vibe to Absolution as well.
Yeah, Absolution looked a bit weirder because of the frame rate things.
Yeah.
Lara Croft looking like she's a member of the Golden Deer. Do you know what I mean, though?
What, in that she's like generically swarthy?
In free houses.
Yeah, yeah. But like, I guess she's oh yeah, because she's got the yellow rope on.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not fucking jumping that shit.
Yeah, his nose ring looks weird, but oh well.
Nose rings? That's because nose rings don't look good ever.
No.
Sorry, listeners,
if
you've got... It's for fucking kinky bastards, that's who it's for.
Sure.
Like, do you know the purpose of a nose ring on a cow?
Yeah, it's to pull it by it, innit?
Well, yeah, it's essentially so you don't have to put I forget the name of it. There's a thing you put on their face to pull them by a rope. If you've got a bull that's a pain in the arse and a bastard, you don't want to constantly try and put this harness on. It will hurt you. So you just clip it onto the nose ring.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, instead of putting like the whole bridle on, yeah.
But it's only for it's only
bulls.
Bulls and specifically bad temperament ones.
Okay.
So if you've got a bull with a good temperament, then it's not an issue.
So maybe that's exactly it. Like, people put nose rings on because they want to identify with bad-tempered bulls.
No, they put nose rings on because they want to be kinky.
Yeah, fair enough.
They want people to treat them like an animal.
I'm
not judging, but that's what they want. Consensually, of course. I'm not saying if someone's got a nose ring, you should go up to them and start mooing.
You should neither moo nor yank.
Like, mooing is annoying, yanking is a crime.
Yes. It's assault.
So because...
Right, props to her for getting it over there.
I was going to say, seeing as this is set after 3 different, a trilogy of games, this is an established, I can get shit done Lara Croft.
Yes. So she's already had her character growth lowest moments so far.
One would assume, again, I didn't play those games. As an aside, terrifying fucking concept.
Oh, yes. Cool visual.
Boy, she can hold her breath for long, can't she?
Yeah, like, it's a, holding your breath is a skill. Holding your breath while exerting yourself is a superpower.
Yeah, this is suspension of disbelief moments of breath holding at this point.
Yeah. I think the world record's like 24 minutes or something.
Bullshit, it's about 4. Again, we got to do... Okay, no, she's dead. Suspension of disbelief time. There's no way a crocodile or alligator, whatever you want to call it, is living down here with no fish and nothing to hunt.
No, like, there's definitely something else in that water. Some might say always a bigger fish.
Some might.
But yeah, there's no way that it was letting a leg go, even being stabbed. Like, immediately it would start doing the death roll.
Yeah.
Go on, Lara, use your medkit.
The average healthy person can hold their breath for 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The world record is in fact 24 minutes and 37 seconds, but it's a very specific circumstance in which it was able to be achieved.
Yes, it's like one guy who's been like super training for it, and it's like hyper oxygenated water and all that.
Yeah, he lied flat on his back, not flat on his back, flat on his stomach in a pool, and taking a big old breath of oxygen from a tank before starting to hold it.
Yeah.
Look at this silver fox.
Yeah, is he gonna be the villain immediately? No, he seems to be actually a reasonably nice guy.
Oh, speaking of people being villains, goddamn, Veilguard is a bastard for like, this person is clearly a villain, why are we trusting them?
Oh yeah, they don't even have a name before this mission.
No, they have names. It's not that obvious, but like you talk to them and it's like, oh boy, you're really nice. I hope you don't betray me in 5 minutes.
Yeah. You're not in the opening of like the 7 characters that are very obviously the party members.
It's the Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah, it's the sacrificial box. But it's like a room full of gold.
I do hope this is a legitimate father figure and not a secret Here's the problem, is media's ruined me a lot, in that if someone's too nice, it's like, cool, when are you going to be the secret traitor?
Yeah, so like either he's a villain or he's legitimately her like butler or whatever.
What, friend of father? Like, they've established that. Real nice of you not to subtitle this shit, guys.
Oh, thank you, Lara.
Oh, cool. So they're secretly good guys then, is what we're saying?
Yeah, I think so. It's probably, yeah. Yeah, leave it all the colours because they want to put it back.
It's like the Guardians of the fucking Fountain of Youth all the time. It's like, no one can use this, fuck off.
Okay, that's his heel turn.
Alright, listen, like, turnabout is fair play there. Like, he got punched first.
You got to, yeah.
Okay, now he's murdering.
Yeah.
Like, again, suspension of disbelief. You're not doing these cool kung fu flips with a bitten by a crocodile leg.
Yeah, and also with like 5 people around, most of whom have guns.
I think they're hesitant to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we to believe that Lara Croft has not witnessed human death yet?
Maybe so. Either that or the dude's gonna... or the dude is like doing sign language. I don't know.
No, it was very clear that he was going to kill the dude, but like Lara's obviously, again, never encountered this. I assume.
Yeah. Because as much as she's an adventurer, she's a adventure person, not a murder person.
Yeah, she ain't Indiana Jones. She's not fighting Nazis on the reg.
Yeah.
That is a very nice title card.
It is.
Jesus Christ,
that was a bit of a time skip, I assuming.
Well, 3 years later.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, 3 years later. Yeah, there we go.
Look at this fucking Tekken character.
Yeah. Kiss already.
I would like to know what happened in this 3-year time skip that she's just suddenly in Peru fucking bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, pendejo!
Yeah, it's like La Mariposa.
Fucking stay down if you can't even see straight.
Yeah, if you can't see straight, that's your brain telling you that you're about to you're about to fall unconscious.
Man, this Peruvian wrestler is pretty good at fucking surviving the ground and pound. What are the rules for this engagement?
Good on the guy for pulling her off.
Yeah, to declare victor, but she doesn't appear to... she's still worse for wear.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, at least they're friends.
I would fucking watch these two going at it.
Yeah, it's Merry Christmas, apparently. Feliz Navidad.
Released in October.
Yeah.
Pickled
Entering the phone
shortbread.
with Happy Christmas, yeah, yeah.
What is pickled shortbread?
I don't know.
If you didn't
I'm
know
guessing
that
that's
was
like a-
if you didn't know that was Peggy Carter, you can really hear it in these moments.
Yeah, you can totally hear it, yeah, yeah. It does feel like that might be like a foster family or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Look at these action characters from later on in the season.
Well, again, I'm going to assume they're from the games. Again, we're missing the context of 3 whole games.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose, yeah.
For all we know, that intro sequence could have happened straight after the game, and then this is a time skip. I don't know. It's hard to believe...
Or hell, even in one of the games.
Well, I was going to say, it's hard to believe that Lara Croft hasn't killed a human.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know for a fact, at least one of those games in that rebooted trilogy, she was constantly being hunted by random people.
Yeah.
Well, they might not have been random, but from my limited context, they were random.
Obviously they were connected, but yes.
We are in Castlevania.
Home at Croft Manor. Yeah, Croft Manor.
I love having these closed captions where it just says poignant music starts playing.
And Lara grunting and strains. Yeah, they describe the music as like sad music or triumphant music. Triumphant music builds.
Let's continue
Poignant music continues.
What was that sound effect when she lifted it? It sounded like a fart.
Well, I heard the little harp bit where it goes doo-doo,
Okay.
which sounded like something that's in the games, I believe.
Yeah, we know Roth is dead, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm running away. Fun!
Yeah.
Happy fun time slide! Kind of a name as fucking Zip.
Yeah. I think I know that voice. Yeah, that's the standard thing. If you're getting someone to help you move, pizza is normally the the standard reward.
Yeah, reward, not pre-physical work food, because pizza really slows you down.
Yeah.
Well, it slows me down anyway.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you in months, and the first thing she says is, "I'm going to burn all my fucking father and uncle's shit down."
Yep.
That's a healthy response.
Yeah, I mean, for some people, it's what you really need, because it's like you do need to start fresh sometimes.
I've never felt the need to burn a ton of shit to the ground. I can't bring myself to destroy things.
No. Oh.
Good old woman 1. Oh, woman 2's joined the fight.
Yeah. Apparently they are characters in the games as well. And now she's Gamora.
Well, because there's a slight green hue.
Yep. Maybe the green hue is from the green box.
Oh, who knows?
Giving green cheese dreams.
I gotta be honest with you, the show's not giving me enough context to really give a fuck. This is very generic at this point.
Yeah, it's like
hero has hero
trauma.
syndrome.
Yeah, hero has trauma syndrome.
It's not even, well, yeah, it is trauma, but again, it's like hero blames himself for everything, even though it's not it's not entirely their fault. Or it is. It's unclear. They're not giving us enough context on this mission that killed Roth.
The British Museum. Look at all this shit we stole.
I mean, yeah. Because Lara Croft hates you.
Yeah.
So, is he deaf, or is he constantly, like, monitoring things?
Yeah, I think he's got the Bluetooth on. It's probably a I think he's like wired into a gang of team people.
But it's unclear. I'm asking.
Yeah.
Could be a high-tech hearing device. In that, like, now you can hear again. Congrats.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I can't see any pockets.
No, me either. But like, I love that little gag that whenever a dress has pockets, a lady always has to tell people.
So she's not selling it, she's just straight up giving it to the British Museum. Okay.
Yeah.
Or it is an auction? But, well, he just said thanks for the donation. I'm very confused. Unless the money's all going to the museum. It's...
Yeah, I think she's donating everything to the museum, and then the museum is immediately selling it.
Gee.
Sounds like Sean Bean.
I think I know that voice. I think it's, It sounds like the bloke who played, the main Belmont in Castlevania.
Okay, yeah.
built different. I'm an alpha wolf. What are you, little furry? I can't, man. Like, it's too serious of a moment not to take the piss out
of. Trevor Belmont.
That sounds. I can't remember which Belmont is the main one in Castlevania.
Yeah, in the 2017 Castlevania. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, it's that guy.
Well then. A lot of Castlevania connections, eh?
And apparently the second thing he ever did was being in The Phantom Menace.
I don't remember him being in that. Oh, it's Richard Armitage, that's why I know the name.
Yeah, Richard Armitage. He's a character called Tonra.
Okay. Oh, fucking Roth is voiced by Nolan North.
Oh, sweet.
That guy might as well be a fucking comedian, though, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him and Baker.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Richard Armitage was also Be'lakor.
He was also the main dwarf in Hobbit.
Yeah, he was. Thorin Oakenshield, yeah.
Oh god, we've still got 13 minutes left. I'm so bored, Rick.
Yeah. I don't know why she's bothered about people breaking in and stealing stuff when she's giving it all away anyway.
Because the point is to honour the memory as well. Like, you can't just let any old fucker grab it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah!
Here's the thing, Rick, is I remember in the game she used to dual-wield pistols. And I'm assuming because they're going with the logic that she doesn't want to kill people, that's why she doesn't just have guns and ends this problem.
Yeah, like in the old games it's pistols at least, yeah.
It's Aku Aku.
Yeah, it's... It is, yeah. And yeah, now she's just incredibly skilled at things that don't kill people.
Where the fuck? The bike from Tron!
Yeah, purple Tron bike. It even leaves a fucking trail and everything.
To be fair, they're super rich. I don't care if their car gets fucked.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, so the bike wasn't leaving a trail. It's just that's how they do lights in this animation style.
Sure.
Yeah, you're right, Rick. It's just Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, I like this car. I must buy one later.
I will admit, it's something that shows don't do enough these days, and that is someone who is competent at their job and knows they are.
Yeah.
I think this might be Armitage's character with that fucking eye shine we just saw.
Yeah. And the grey eyebrows.
You know they're in fucking Britain.
Yeah, because you can't go around fucking corners at more than 22 miles an hour.
Oh, BMX Bandit. Oh, fuck. Yeah. I just realised. I remembered what that reference was from.
Angel Summoner.
Angelic Horde. Rise! God, that's such a good fucking joke. Oh, Mitchell and Webb are underrated.
Yeah.
Girl, you ain't even got a helmet on.
Or a seatbelt. But nah. That's the thing, actually. I think I've said it in the past, but if they show a car, they have to show people putting the seatbelts on or suffering the consequences of not putting a seatbelt on.
Yep. Sorry, we just got the big reveal that wasn't a reveal, because again, they focused a lot on his eyes.
Yeah, they focus on his eyes, and he's also pretty much one of the only 7 characters who have been introduced.
Stingy bastard, aren't you a millionaire?
Hmm. Because now he wants the green trees, James.
Hmm. Oh, don't take my compliment, bitch. I gotta be honest with you, that animation on that dude's face for that was... It sold the joke really well.
It does, doesn't it? It's good. I do like the little bits of Batman shit that she's got around the house.
Just about to say, I can't believe we're going to see her Batcave. That wasn't a euphemism. But she does. I remember in the game she had like a Batcave that had stupid shit.
Yeah, and it was unlocked by doing stupid shit like that, like turning a dial to the west or something.
Oh, cool. We're going to do some Gilgamesh shit.
Hmm.
It's fucking Kano.
Okay. It is and all.
Matt, it really bums me out that the number one source of my humour is, oh my god, it's just this person.
Oh my god, it's Beyonce!
No, it's Lady Gaga!
Yeah.
Fuck, I love that gag.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, that's a reasonable reason to attribute more worth to it. Blow.
Oh, cool. So it's going to take about 50 hours then with fucking... It's going to be British Airways, so you know the food will be shit.
Yeah, and he's got to go through security.
Fucking... I mean, it's probably a private jet, but whatever.
Yeah.
I still remember going to Japan, and Japan Airways, the fucking flight was great. The service was excellent. All the stewards and stewardesses were awesome. And the flight back, and it's like... Oh, it's like night and fucking day, isn't it?
Yeah, like British Airways is one of our best ones as well.
Oh, God. Listen, I had an aisle seat during the flight back, so I had a bit of leg room, and not once, not twice, but thrice, some fucker with a cart just banged right in my knee.
Yep.
And I'm like, and it's like, why is your knee in the thing? 'Cause I'm tall!
Yeah.
I'm tall and fat.
Because you're not 5 foot nothing.
Seriously, if I ever fly again, I never want to fly cheap seats.
No. Like there's 2 at the front where you have to state that if the plane crashes, I'll open the door.
Yeah, I would not want that responsibility.
Yeah, but if the plane's crashed, it's fine.
I don't want that responsibility.
Yeah. Last time my folks were on a flight, they had to look.
Is that all you had to do? Doesn't open my fucking ass.
Just turn the fucking thing that's literally the only thing that works on it.
Roth, you couldn't work this out.
Oh no, it's uranium.
It's got evil Bible magic.
Oh no, it's getting bent end.
I know all your secrets.
And now it's time for him to eat everyone else's souls in here.
God, that's exactly what's going to happen, isn't it?
Like, actually.
Oh no, just mind powers.
Oh no, it's mind control. Okay, cool.
That's really how you're testing it? What a dick.
And he didn't do it the other way around.
Oh, that's grim. I thought it was going to be just a normal gun, not a fucking spear gun.
Yeah, harpoon gun, yeah. It's going to be one of those where it finds out if he drops it, then oh.
I got the suspicion that he didn't actually want to have anyone killed at that moment, and the stone is pulsating evil juices and making him evil. I guess.
Could be both.
It's like, I remember someone writing down, it was either on Reddit or Tumblr, I forget which, where it's just like, if you pick the Death Note up in real life, you actually get one free pass, because there's absolutely no way any rational human being would think it would work.
Yeah. So, like, after that, after one, yeah, you're very definitely, you're a murderer after one.
Yeah,
The first one is just, like, willing suspension of disbelief.
Well, yeah, again, first one is free, because if you read something that says anyone whose name you write in this will die in X amount of time, and you're like, ha ha ha, very funny, I write the name Donald Trump, and then he dies in the next 24 hours, your hands are technically clean, because there's absolutely no way you can reasonably expect that to work.
Yeah, and also, you also can't have it traced back to you as well. It's great.
Now, the problem becomes, as you say, you find out it works, so then you double down and triple down and just keep going. Then blood is definitely on your hands.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But, you know. Spoiler for our wind down, which we'll start doing in earnest in about a minute and a half, because we've got all the foreign credits to go through. I don't think this was very good.
It was fine. Like, the animation was fantastic.
Yeah, the animation was great. The voice cast was great. It wasn't bad because anything contributing to it was bad. It's bad because I don't care about any of the characters.
Yeah, I guess part of the problem is that we don't have the background of the few characters that are returning, other than Lara, who, everybody knows what Lara Croft is about. But like her Scooby Gang, like they're all returning characters that we don't know very much about. Like
we assume they're returning characters. We don't actually know that. These characters might have never shown up before. I'm also assuming that they're characters from the games, because if it's a direct continuation, why would they just add a bunch of OCs for no reason?
Yeah, so I know Jonah and Reyes and Sam are all real characters apparently,
but not Zip.
Yeah, Zip is new for this.
Sure, and obviously I'm going to assume the antagonist is also new.
Yes. Roth is a real person.
Well, who cares? They're dead now.
Yeah. Conrad Conrad Roth. He's Robert Atkin Downes in the original, apparently.
I recognise that name, but I don't know why.
He's Harvey Dent in Batman Year One.
Oh, I don't care. Anyway, I'm not interested in going on an IMDb dive on an actor who didn't even show up in this show.
Well, his quote on TV Tropes is "fuckhead," so
don't care. Rick, what did you think?
I thought it was decent. It's not top of my list of things to continue. But props to the people that made it, and props to them for getting a season 2, as you said at the beginning. But it had a bit of a slow start and
a slow middle and a slow end.
Well, it had a reasonably paced middle where we got the fight scene.
Basically, you're saying it had an action scene. That doesn't mean the pace has ramped up story wise.
Yeah. How about you? What do you think?
I'm very low on this. I think technically excellent. Like the animation, great. Voice cast, great. The actors are certainly treating it seriously enough. Like the characters are believable. It's a real uphill battle for them because at the end of the day, I don't like Tomb Raider, and when you're throwing me into a plot where you have to have a bunch of prior knowledge for at least some of the events to make sense, I'm struggling not to tune out.
Yeah, I feel it.
This is firmly a me problem. I don't want to point out as well, guys, that to do this was a Rick idea. It wasn't a my idea. I wasn't pushing for this. So
yeah, this was definitely my idea. Like, I can see people feeling similarly about Dragon Age Absolution, for instance, in that, they tell you things about the universe to get you into it if you don't know about it, but you get a hell of a lot more out of it if you know the lore.
I don't think you need any additional context for Absolution because it's not a story building off another story. Yes, it's a story set in a world, but it's set in Tevinter, a place up until that point we'd never seen before. So we had no real prior knowledge, unless you're a weirdo like you and me who read every single codex entry. But it's not bad by any means. I just don't think it's for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's do our usual wind down. Rick, do you have a favourite moment?
It was gonna be. Well, I can't even say what it was gonna be because it got ousted by the fight scene with Lara doing all that whip stuff with the grappling hook and everything.
Oh, you mean the knife on a rope?
Yeah, the knife rope. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very underused weapon, but it's also one of those where I think the reason why it's underused is it's hard to get someone in real life skilled enough to do the moves.
Yes, especially to make it look good on camera as well.
Yeah. It's like we got that famous Indiana Jones story, and Indiana Jones, another series I couldn't give a fuck about. So of that one guy who does all that scimitar fuckery with his knife dance, and Harrison Ford famously had dysentery or something that made him basically had the shits, and he was like, "Can I just shoot him?" Because he didn't want to do a choreographed fight scene because again, the guy had the shits.
Yeah.
So he shoots him after he does all this flashy, sword stuff because I think the actor or the professional that they got in was like, can I please just do something cool?
Yeah. Because it was meant to be a properly choreographed fight scene, but nah, not anymore.
But also, Harrison Ford had a very good point in just why wouldn't Indiana Jones just shoot him?
Yeah, this is true. But yeah, how about you? What do you have a favourite moment?
Yeah, my favourite moment, because the facial animation was done so well and it enhanced the joke for me, was just it's not creepy and dark, it's Jacobean. The ghosts, however, and it just cuts to Zip's face just being like, you're taking the piss. Yeah. Say psych right now, literally that.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, that was one of the few actual funny parts, Yeah,
there was here's the
something that Lara does is that she does quip now and again, and it feels like they're trying to not do that in what's meant to be a serious episode where she's dealing with trauma.
Yeah. She's dealing with trauma. She's blaming herself for everything. We haven't actually seen the catalyst, which again is another problem, but we'll get to that, I suppose. It's just you can't be happy-go-lucky Saki when you're also having your mental breakdown phase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, it's me. We can't only talk about the good. We also have to talk about the bad. Rick, do you have a weakest link for me?
Probably just the pacing. It just felt slow, and I guess it's a casualty of dealing with trauma so early on.
They haven't dealt with it though. They've just established that it exists.
Yeah, and it kind of doesn't feel earned, in my opinion. yet. Like, that kind of stuff, it feels better when you see the thing happen and it happens to you, the reader, or you, the viewer, kind of in real time, you know?
I feels it.
Because then you're dealing with it at the same time, and you're going through with it, and you're standing shoulder to shoulder with the protagonist that you're following, and not just going, oh man, get over it so we can get to the good bit.
It's one of the real issues with modern storytelling, I find, in that a lot of stories don't want to just tell a fucking story. Here's point A, we go past point B, we end at point C. Instead, they want to be like, here's point A, except we don't start at point A, we're starting at point B. We'll deal with point A later. We've already had all the character development and all the issues that have arisen between the gang. We're not going to show you what caused these yet, because we're going to show you halfway through the series, because, you know, and I get it. From an artistic point of view, you don't have to do everything linear, but so many people fucking play with it nowadays, and they play with it poorly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll turn it back on you. Do you have a weakest link?
Yeah, my weakest link is coming to this as someone who knows a sweet fuck all about Tomb Raider, apart from the bits and pieces I've picked up damn near 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Is that we've had this big traumatic event, and we don't know what caused it.
All we know is that someone threw a knife at her uncle figure. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, it was an axe. Second of all, if you're coming into Tomb Raider from this point and haven't played the games, the only exposure you've had to the old man mentor, whose name I've already forgotten.
Yeah, because it wasn't Reyes. It was something else.
It was Roth, I think.
Yeah, Roth. Yeah, Roth. Conrad Roth.
Conrad Roth. Yeah, him. If you haven't come from the games...
Nolan North, yeah.
Yeah, Nolan North, yeah. If you haven't come from the games, the only exposure we've had to him is that brief 5-minute scene at the very beginning where he shot someone to save Lara's life. We know he's ride or die, but we also know that traumatized Lara because we assume at that point she'd never seen another person get killed.
Yeah.
It's
so weird.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't a problem for fans of Tomb Raider, but I'm not, which means you're not going to get the retention. Or, you know, again, I'm perhaps being a bit harsh. It's one of the flaws of doing this format of the podcast, because when I watch a new thing that I want to watch, and bear in mind, I didn't really want to watch this, I'm watching it for the podcast.
Yeah.
When I watch a new thing, I've always give it the 3-episode rule, because 1 episode's never enough to establish everything. And they really haven't established enough. And because this is Netflix and they get 8-episode seasons, 3 episodes is damn near half the season.
Yeah.
You know, if you've not established everything by episode 3 when you've only got 8 episodes, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, especially when they're like slightly longer episodes. Like, these are like 30-odd minute episodes, which, yeah, it's about the length of time that you would dedicate to watching something on telly, but that's normally because it's a 22-minute episode with ad.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
So a 30-minute episode is like a 45-minute TV slot.
Yeah, you're correct. That being said, I don't want to poo-poo this too much, because, again, the work that went into this, it's a good show. I can see it's good. There's a lot of love and hard work gone into every element to put this episode together. It's just not gelling with me, and it's a me problem. I acknowledge that, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who has it.
Sure.
All right, let's not end on poo-poo negative Nancy's. Let's end on a highlight. Rick, who's your MVP today?
It's Hayley Atwell. She was a very good Lara. Yes, you can hear her other roles in the delivery, but that's kind of fine, because it's a similar character to what she was hired to be, and you could just, you know, she shone when she was able to give it some emotion, you know?
You're hearing her other roles because she's not doing a voice.
Yeah, she's just being herself.
And that's fine, because when the person is action-based British female, that's what she does.
Yeah, action British female who can quip. She's like the Matt Berry of getting shit done.
That's not true at all. Matt Berry...
No.
Because here's the thing. I didn't feel like I was watching Captain Carter. I felt like I was watching Lara Croft. Whereas if I'm watching anything with Matt Berry, it's just Matt Berry, but Matt Berry as a vampire, or Matt Berry as a news anchor.
Yeah, or Matt Berry as a bumbling fresh CEO. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. I get you.
I'm just saying. I think comparing her to Matt Berry is actually a disservice. Like, I like Matt Berry, but Matt Berry just plays Matt Berry in a wig.
Yeah. And hardly even that half the time. Yeah, fair enough then. How about you? Do you have an MVP?
Yeah, I'll give it to Lara Croft. Like, I think her design is great. Like, she's got just enough muscle to be believable as an adventurer, but also keeping her lithe and lean enough that a bunch of that crowd doesn't get annoyed.
Yeah, and it's kind of true to the model in the more modern games, where she's not just, a Pamela Anderson clone,
She was never that bad.
No, she was an emphasized figure because that's how you did graphics back then. Otherwise, everyone's a brick.
Well, yeah, because, again, 1996, Rick.
Yeah, you're either a fridge or you're an hourglass.
Yeah, for real. So, the model was great. The choreography was great on all of her action scenes, and the voice, it all made for a very good Lara Croft. I've really got nothing bad to say about it. I've got nothing bad to say about any of the characters. The designs are great. There's a diverse cast, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think it's very believable for Lara Croft, a world-renowned adventurer / traveller, to have a diverse team with her.
It's also nice how you can just pick out, oh yeah, look at this character who's very definitely a character versus all of these people who are very definitely background nobodies.
Yeah, but that's just anime.
They put effort into it. Yeah, it's just anime.
I still remember a mutual friend of ours saying that, oh yeah, whenever you watch an anime set in a high school, the main character always sits here because that way they don't have to animate the rest of the classroom.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck. Now I know that, and I don't like high school anime anyway, but like there was a period when I would watch it and I was like, shit, it's every time too.
Yeah. Like they even call it out in Watamote, and they put her in the middle of the classroom because she expects to get the corner seat because that's what always happens in anime, and then she just put in the middle in a nobody seat, and she's super disappointed.
It seems I'm not the protagonist of my coming of age manga. I won't get to experience that reverse gangbang after all.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. This is the character who is pretty much the socially awkward poster girl. Yeah. She's incredibly fun to watch being cringe.
Oh dear.
But yes.
Yeah. So that brings us to a natural close as any. We both more or less gave the MVP to the same person, but there could be arguments made for almost anyone on the team. I would have just straight up given it to the animation team, but it always feels like a cheat when you give broad stroke achievements like that.
Yeah. Animation team, art direction, animators in general. Like, it looked great.
It really did. I think if anyone watches this and goes, it looks bad, I think they're lying.
Yeah. Either that or they've just come from like the year 3000 and they've been watching things that have been generated in real time.
Yeah, but is it worth living there where you have to live underwater?
Yeah.
And your great granddaughter, I hear she's pretty fine. That's a busted reference for all the kids out there. Are busted still a thing? Do they still exist?
I think one of them died.
Jesus Christ, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, on that bombshell.
Yeah, alright, so let us know in the comment section or via email or via whatever means you want which member of Busted died and how it happened and when. In graphic detail if you can. But also, more importantly, let us know what you thought of Tomb Raider, the Netflix animated series. Are we wrong? Would we have gotten a lot more out of this if we'd have actually played the games and given more of a shit? Who knows? Was our MVP wrong? Do you think someone else really deserved it more? What do you think of this art style? Do you want to see more of this? There's tons of questions and we want to hear your answers. Obviously, we've got the comment section down below on both YouTube and Spotify. Alternatively, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
And I want to stress, don't actually send us messages about how a member of Busted died. I just thought that would be a funny bit, but I don't want to know. In my mind, all three of them are still alive and well, and they're thinking about their great granddaughters. And we'll see you next week for something completely different.
Bye, everybody.